I definitely was. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast. Sixers version, Sixers Nation in the building. The light is kind of bright to the side. Don't look that bright in real life, but I don't know why it's giving like this most holy glow over there in the corner.
That's what it is.
But we gonna keep it pushing. Sixers off a 131-126 victory versus the Wizards. They got a little. Wizards played tough. They played consistent throughout the game. They did all right. Well, let's first start off talking about Joel Embiid, the man you love to hate. What's going on, J.I. Greers? How you say that?
Probably
J. Or I don't know. I feel the need to pronounce the I for some reason. What's up, Leon B? TGG, what's going on? B. The big man is in the back. The big man in the middle is back. 50 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 19 for 29, 65% field goal. 11, only shot 13 free throws, 250-point game. That's actually pretty impressive. 11 for 13 from the field, but dropped 50 tonight. Yeah, I love to see Oubre back as well. Tim, what you think about the Joel Embiid performance? This is the man that you have been most critical of for the longest of times. So what you think? What's your thoughts?
I thought he played well. He played very good. He did his thing. So I have no complaints about his the way he played today. He took advantage of a not so good Wizards team. If you think about it, the next 3 games, he's probably going to have really great stats. I believe we play the Wizards again, then we play Detroit, and then we play Atlanta. So we have 4 cupcake games that I guess what we could do is use this opportunities to like gain in the Eastern Conference. So I mean, we did exactly what we were supposed to do. We took care of business on the road. That's what we were supposed to do, and then Joel handled his business.
Yeah, he did. He had some help. Maxey played well. Your boy Melton, he's been hating on. 5 for 10 for 3, 19 points, played well. Maxey went 50%, 10 for 20 from the field. Also dropped 7 dimes. He looked good as well. So, I mean, Oubre coming back looking 12. Greer said you pronounce it J-I. I guess but he got the I in parentheses. So does that mean the I is silent or
I know.
I need a little bit more clarification. You doing too much. Just tell me.
You gotta let us know how it is. Is it J? I think it's just spelled J. You know how black people be messing up, be creating their own names.
Okay, so now his parents, now his mama she created a whole new name for this man. Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah, Toby didn't play well today. I see a number of people, Leon, the teacher got game. Talk about Toby had 9 points or 6 points rather, 6 rebounds. He ain't shoot that much. He was 3 for 9. I mean, I guess when you got Joel cooking, you just let him cook. So I'm not mad at him, but a couple of them shots he definitely should have hit.
I guess we could talk about Tobias. Tobias is garbage, and we can't make no more excuses for Tobias being on the team.
Well, what excuses are we making for him? We always talk about how bad he was. He was playing well for the majority. He has more good games than bad, so it ain't like he playing terrible and now the veils have to fall off our eyes about what we thought about him. We already thought he wasn't good. He's been actually exceeding expectations. So I'm trying to figure out what angle you coming at my man Toby on.
Did you see his last performance that he came?
What happened in that performance?
Oh my God! So Friday was terrible. Friday probably was the absolute. Everybody came on Friday was like, "Oh my God, Toby is trash." But I'm just saying, in the Wayne before he as the third best player, he would give Toby his props, and now he said as the 4th best player. But the 4th best player on the team gotta be great at something or good at something.
He is. He's good at being a 4th best player. He's a very good 4th best player.
6 points, but getting to pay $38 million. He's garbage.
But what's he averaging? See, you take a 1 game, bro. You could break down anybody 1, 2, 3 games out the year. What's his average for the season?
He's averaging a hot mess of a
See,
player.
that's what we're not going to do. Let's not going to do. Let's go to Tobias Harris. Let's look at Tobias Harris as a full play. He's averaging 18.6 rebounds, 2 assists a game. 18 points a game is a good thing. So you can look at
fool's goal.
No, your average is what you are.
No, your average is he's just fortunate that he has that 18-point average.
You don't fortunately average 18 points in that.
It's not real. It's not
you
real.
Don't now if you want to say in the playoffs things will change, okay, now we could talk about a different conversation. But if you're talking about what he does in the regular season, this is his average. This has been his average consistently around 16 to 18 points a game as a Sixer. So it's not by mistake he's getting these points.
It's not real because first of all, it's a whole lot of garbage teams in the NBA. So he'll do well against garbage teams, but when it comes to real teams, he's not that type of bull. He's not that bull. I'm telling you, he's not good.
Listen, 18 points a game. I say different for your fourth option on your team. I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with your fourth option giving you 16 to 18 points a game, bro.
He's not a fourth best player on a championship caliber team. He's not a fourth best player, and that's the problem. Because you're fourth.
So who's Boston's fourth best player? You realize how inconsistent Drew Holiday is, right? Like he plays great defense, but he's very inconsistent.
But Drew Holiday is good at something. That's the thing is when you're the fourth best player, you got to have a talent. You have to have a unique talent. Either you're a lockdown defender, you can rebound, or you can shoot the three. There's something special. There's something.
What was Denver's fourth best player? Wasn't it Porter?
Yes.
Or was it Brown? Or was it Bruce Brown or was it Porter? And what does Porter do exceptionally well?
Both of them was good shooters and great rebounders for that particular.
Porter was Tobias' stats say different. He says it's better than Porter. He's a better shooter.
Tobias' play says different.
So his stats, his field goal percentage, his play. Your play is shown by your percentages. His field goal percentage and his 3-point percentage. Let's look up. Let's do this.
Golden State, they won 4 championships. Who was their fourth best player? You're going to tell Green. So you're going to tell me.
Well, with the Kevin Durant year, Draymond Green was the fourth best player. Before Kevin Durant, it was probably Harrison Barnes.
Okay. And
and Harrison Barnes was Tobias is a version of Tobias Harris.
I beg to differ. I truly beg to differ.
Okay, you think Harrison Barnes is better than Tobias?
Yes, I would take it because Tobias is not a great player. He doesn't do anything great or good.
Harrison Barnes ain't great neither. He's a solid player. Let's look at Harrison Barnes' stats. You know what Harrison Barnes is averaging this year? 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 1.5 assists. Let's see what he averaged during the Golden State championship.
I'm talking about the championship years.
Okay, let's go. Let's go to the championship years.
Go ahead. And
the championship years with Golden State, he was averaging the highest he averaged in 2015, 2016 was 11 points. He shot.
But give me that roster though, because you're saying he's the fourth best player. Who's their roster? Because I'm not even picking Harrison Barnes.
He was their roster. Let's go down straight down.
Who's their center?
Their center was the big foreigner boy. What's his name? Andrew Bogut.
Yeah, and I'll take him over Tobias Harris. That's their.
No, but we're not talking. We're talking about that Golden State team.
That's what I'm saying. On that Golden State team, that when you talked about Andrew Bogut is better at that time, was better than Tobias Harris. That's a wrap. And then when you talk about when Durant got there, you know he was not comparing to Draymond Green. So
Andrew Bogut was. You saying Andrew Bogut was better? We're not talking. Why you keep saying Tobias Harris? You mean on Golden State's team? You saying he was better than Harrison Barnes?
No, what I'm saying is the fourth best player on that first championship when they had Andrew
was who?
Bogut, he was a good center. He was better.
But who was the fourth best player on Golden State? That's one question I'm asking you.
Andrew Bogut was what I would say that over. You're telling me Harrison Barnes. I'm telling you, it was Andrew Bogut was the fourth best player. No,
he wasn't. Andrew Bogut averaged 20 minutes a game for Golden State. The fourth best player. Their players scoring. Steph had 30. Clay had 22. Draymond averaged 14 points a game, and Harrison Barnes averaged 11. Andrew Bogut in 20 minutes gave you 7 points. He was not the fourth best player. Was Harrison Barnes.
Andrew Bogut was the key to stopping LeBron James in the series. when his height
in certain minutes. Andrew Bogut, you okay? You know how many minutes he averaged in that final?
Listen,
Do you know how many minutes
you're not the only one that watched that Golden State series. I know you want to believe that, but you wasn't.
Listen, you know how many minutes Andrew Bogut averaged per game in the finals? He averaged 15 minutes per game.
And when
he averaged 15, that's not even.
Wait, time out.
Yes.
Andre Iguodala was the fourth best player on that team. And he was the lockdown defender. That's the fourth pick. Andre Iguodala.
I'm sorry, Andrew Bogut averaged 5 points. And Andre Iguodala averaged 7 points a game.
But
he was not better than Harrison Barnes.
He was better than, I'm telling you, yes, he was. And he
came off the bench. Andre Iguodala was a bench player.
I'm not talking about points. I'm talking about there was something. Andre Iguodala was the fourth best player on that team. They used him specifically for defense. Now
Matisse Thybulle was used specifically for defense. Does that mean he was the fourth best player when he played for us too?
Come on, Andre even got an MVP out the deal.
Bogut was a rim protector, I agree, but like I said, in spurts, he wasn't a consistent player. Go look at Andrew Bogut's stats. He literally averaged every game 15 minutes exactly in that finals. He was a rim protector in spurts. I'm not saying his impact wasn't necessary, but he was not the fourth best player. Andre Iguodala wasn't the fourth best player.
Yes, he was.
No way in the world he should have won MVP. I'm going to stand on that.
Yes, he does. He got an MVP out the deal, but he's not the fourth best player.
We say, no, he wasn't. Everybody knows he should have won MVP.
You got Draymond Green. You got Klay Thompson, and you got Steph. Those are your big three. Your fourth best player, who's Andre Iguodala, ended up getting the most valuable player in that NBA Finals series. And you're not going to tell me that he wasn't better than Tobias Harris. So that's my point I'm making. Everybody's fourth best player.
Andre Iguodala, Tobias Harris. We ran Andre Iguodala at the time because he did the same stuff Tobias Harris did. The same complaints you got about Tobias, you had about Andre Iguodala the time he was here.
Iguodala is good. He was good at something. I said the fourth best player is not going to be your top scorer most likely, but he's unique in something that he does.
X-Men, I agree. Bogut was the white BJ Tucker. And Tim is trying to just throw names out there. First it was Bogut, now it's Iguodala. It's all these names he's just throwing out there for the sake of trying to discredit what Tobias Harris does.
MVP. He got an MVP.
And and how many people really believe that? You and who else?
In the voters.
And how many people to this day? How many people discredit that? The voters the same one that voted Steve Nash for 2 back-to-back MVPs when Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant was and AI was in the league, and he got 2 back-to-back league MVPs. So what does that really mean? This is why y'all get caught up in this whole he won MVP. I know what he actually did. Andre Iguodala shot like 35% from free throw in that finals, and you get somebody who shoots 35% from free throw, you give that person an MVP. Come on, man.
Do you think Andre Iguodala could have did this? Do you think Tobias Harris could have did the same thing that Andre Iguodala did in the NBA Finals?
Tobias Harris actually did a great job defending Tatum until Game 7, until he let Tatum go crazy in the playoffs.
In Game 6, when he let him win the game,
Andre Iguodala actually played better in playoffs against and putting up numbers than Andre Iguodala. He can't shoot. We all know this about Andre Iguodala. That's why we didn't want him here. We always said Andre Iguodala's best role on a team was coming off the bench or being a very good supporting member of a team. It's the same thing Tobias Harris did. He's a very good supporting member of a team. That's what he's the fourth or sometimes fifth best player on the squad. Right now, he might be fifth.
Your fourth best player has to have a unique skill set that's different than everybody
Thank you, X-Man. Thank you. No, you don't. He's all he got to do is when your starters is not playing well, and he needs to add baskets. He needs to add baskets. My concern,
that's what you're thinking. It's not just about baskets. It's about rebounding. It's about defending.
Tobias plays actually good defense. Tobias plays good defense.
Unique. Like remember, those Bulls dynasties when they always had the big three. And guess what? Who they had? Snipers. The Steve Kerr, the PJ.
Okay, so what's your Go ahead.
What I'm saying is in the NBA final, if you have a finals team that's gonna make a run, your big three is your big three.
Okay.
That four person has to have a unique skill set to take you and get you over the top. You had for you not to say that when you know that when y'all went to Golden State, they had Andre. The second time they had Draymond twice. And the last time I'm gonna say they had between Andrew Wiggins and Poole, they always had somebody unique. You've seen examples.
See, but exactly, and I just explained to you the examples. I just explained to you where Tobias Harris is at versus where these other players is at, and where he falls on the team, and why it won't hurt you as much if you have solid leadership on the team. You keep telling. What's funny about you try to change the subject every time, because before you was already talking about he don't shoot good enough. Then when we proved you his stats was pretty good, now it's all of a sudden he needs to rebound and defense. Where have you seen him consistently lacks on defense? I actually see him do a great job defensively. He does, but before it's like, well, he ain't scoring. He missed too many shots. I agree with you that his scoring sometimes could be suspect, but he averages 18 points a league. Points a league. He averages 18 points a game in the league. That's not by mistake. Now, is he helped by Joel Embiid and the big man taking up stuff? Yeah, but he still gets buckets. X-Man Tobias can't step up when you need him. His confidence is low. He's actually has stepped up some games this far. So
did
far.
You see him on Friday? Did you?
We forget about the games that he does. Every time he steps up and he does, y'all like, oh, okay, good game. I'm glad he stepped up. And then y'all forget about it the next game he plays bad. It's like, oh, he trashed all over again. But he has stepped up in games that we needed him. I don't understand what y'all trying to. He's the fourth best player. Do you know what that means?
I wish you would. You're feeling this way now. So you didn't see Friday's game. You didn't see anything about that.
You talking about one game? One game.
He
represents what? One game.
We gave him the keys, and we were like, you don't got no Maxey, you don't got no Embiid.
First of all, you talk about Friday's game when he played well into the fourth quarter. He actually had a decent, solid game in the fourth quarter. He didn't make no buckets. That's what you were so harping over the fourth quarter. I think he ended. Then he had like 16, 17 points or something like that. He stunk it up in the fourth quarter. That was the problem. I saw the game. I saw the game, and Pat Bev had 20-something. Melton had 20-something. This is my point. This is my point.
You haven't seen enough. You in the last 4 years of Tobias Harris, you ain't seen enough to realize that he ain't that boy. He ain't it.
Ain't it for what?
To be the fourth best player in your team.
I'm fine with him being.
At first, he was going to be. He was the second best player. Then we moved him down to the third best player. Now he's at the fourth best player.
Yes, that's where he should be at. The fourth best player.
What he should be is on another team, and we getting that money.
Bro, I just read you Golden State stats, right? For a championship team, their fourth best player. If you want, even if you want to say it's Iggy, first of all, I watched the team more than anybody. Probably
everybody watched the same series.
I watched not the series. I said I watched the team throughout the year.
I watched the playoffs
throughout the year. Throughout the year, I watched the team more than anybody on here, and I've also continued to watch. But anyway, getting back to my point, their fourth best player averaged 11 points, and Andre Iguodala averaged 7. So even if you want to say he's the fourth best player, this was a championship team, and he averaged 7. Our fourth best players averaged 18. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it.
In the playoffs last year, Tobias averaged 14 points a game. Secondly, Andre Iguodala got it all the way to he got his team, assisted his team getting to the NBA Finals, not the second round of the playoffs. And lastly, he got an MVP out the deal.
Andre Iguodala barely even played in the playoffs. He started playing in the finals because they needed somebody to help defend LeBron James because Draymond Green was having problems getting in foul trouble. So they put Andre Iguodala on him. However, all that being said, let's go to Oubre because Tobias is what he is. I'm calling him being the fourth best option. I don't know why people have a problem with your fourth best option averaging 18 points a game. But okay, Oubre is back. Oubre played very good, only 12 points, but very good coming off, finally he's getting his feet back underneath from coming off the motorcycle injury that the cops tried to, say he was on, say he was lying about when he got hit by the car, rather on his bike. He got hit by the car. The video of him coming into the house saying, yo, I got hit by a car, and he's kind of grabbing his, his ribs and all that stuff like that. And the cops is all like, oh, we ain't see the tape and all that. We can't find it. So now all of a sudden he capping and all these.
It still sounded a little shaky about the story.
I think it was about he didn't really want to get out there about he was on his bike because I heard that he in his contract he's not supposed to be on this bike during the season. So maybe that had something to do with it. He kind of wanted to, be a little hush-hush because at first I heard he was on a bike and then I heard he wasn't on the bike, but whatever. But Oubre's back. I'm glad he's back. He brought energy to athleticism. I agree with you, Charlie M. He looked good. He looked good. He brought some much needed energy and athleticism back. and that's one of the reasons why we got the win. I'm cool with that. I'm glad he's back.
He gave us 10 points in the third quarter. I mean, he only had 2 points in the first half, and then he came in and he was just easy. The buckets come real flow. Like that's a great fourth option, by the way. He's a really good third option.
I think Oubre might be more of our third than our fourth. Maxey, the thing about it, Melton and Tobias sometimes split the fourth and the fifth option. To me, when Oubre's back playing 100% and he's getting 28, 32 minutes a game, Oubre is our fourth option, in my opinion. I'm sorry, our third option. You got B, Maxey, then you got Oubre. Then you trickle in Melton and Tobias Harris. In my opinion, I think that's how that lineup goes. X-Man says the Oubre, Batum, Covington, and Morris combo gave you good minutes. Yeah, that's true. Covington's been playing well. He's still terrible at finishing at the rim, bro. He can't. To be a dude that's 6'7", 6'8", his finishing at the rim is so suspect. It's annoying. But he shoot well and he play defense. He get hands. Covington.
Oh, okay.
Yo, Joshua, thank you. Joshua, that's how you say it. I've been watching y'all for a while. I'm a Celtics fan, but I love y'all content. Keep doing your thing. Yo, thanks again, bro.
No, we appreciate you, man.
We're gonna see you a lot. If you keep watching the content, hopefully we have that clash that we had last year, and we're gonna see again who's gonna win this one. I think under better coaching, this is gonna be a better series. Y'all got a good squad. Y'all lack a little bit of depth, but some of y'all bench players actually have been stepping up the couple games I watch y'all play. But it's going to be a battle. I think we're going to be 1 and 2 seeds by the end of the year, and hopefully we meet in the Eastern Conference Finals and not just in the second round of the playoffs this year. But we'll see. But thanks again. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you. And won't got the whole crew tonight neither. But I
still think Porzingis, y'all can't depend on him. He's always injured, but when he's playing, they nice.
Yeah, that's his problem. That's always been his problem. He been in and out the lineup a lot with the Knicks. Then he went to Dallas. I know he had some conflict. Him and Luka, MOTC boy Luka didn't get along. So eventually he had to move him out of there. But he got a nice role there in Boston. As long as he can stay healthy, they are definitely a dangerous team because he's not looked at to be that dude. I never thought he was that dude. Everybody was, he was the unicorn. They thought he was going to be like the next Dirk Nowitzki and all this other stuff. I never saw that in him. I saw in him what he's doing now. A real nice dude, give you some solid minutes, but you need other players around you to really let you do your thing. But I do like his game. Don't get it twisted. Porzingis got solid game. He's just not him like that. But he's surrounded by two bulls. He's running around Brown and Tatum. They gonna get some work in. He also said Joshua also said that he feared his Sixers team more than any other team. And I think we feel the same way about Boston and Milwaukee, the top two teams we got to contend with. I'm a little bit more fearful of Boston because Dame actually been looking good lately. Dame been looking good, so I can't hate on Dame too much, but Brown and Tatum together, they're a dangerous combination. Them boys can get buckets. What you think?
Until we beat Boston, Boston's always going to be my Achilles heel.
I can agree with that.
Until Embiid show up against Boston in a 7-game series, he trying to stick everybody, trying to stick Tatum. Like all of a sudden in the games, he on Tatum and Tatum is using him and everything. I mean, Al Horford abusing him. So no, Boston will always. I can never say we're better than Boston until we beat them.
I can agree with that. Boston was better last year. That's what Ampuman said. I think so too. A little Ampuman. Joshua, thank you again. Appreciate the shout out, bro. The love. That's some.
Oh yeah,
that's some beauty. Listen, y'all need to take an example from this Boston fan right here.
He's from Boston and he hooking us up.
Boston or Boston. He might be from Philly. I don't know if he's from Philly and like Boston, or if he's from Boston and just listen to Philly content. But whoever or wherever he's at, he's a shining example of the love that y'all should be showing us. No, but I appreciate it though. Thank you, bro. That's what he said from Chicago. Actually, okay. Why not a Bulls fan? I'm surprised. You must be. Hold on. All right, if you're from Chicago and you're not a Bulls fan, You must be a little bit younger and didn't come up in the Jordan era. Because if you came up in the Mike era, it's no way, just in my mind, that you would be anything but a Bulls fan. It's like a
That's kind of
Patriots fan.
surprising to me.
Yeah, it's like a Patriots fan coming up in the Tom Brady era, or a person who lived in the New England area coming up in the Tom Brady era and not being a Patriots fan. But I mean, you never know. Maybe his dad, probably his pops. One or two things happen. Either he came up in an era that's not the Jordan era, or his pop was a Boston fan, so he kind of rocked with Boston. He said, he said, mix the Bulls. He's 26. He was a D Rose fan, but then when they traded Rose, he got sick of the organization. He said, mix the organization. Yeah, okay, I can see that. D Rose, now D Rose was the man, but D Rose, see, he was the greatest star ever reached his full career potential because of the injuries, man. Derek had game. He reminded me of AI. That's why I always liked Derrick Rose. AI was my favorite player and still one of my top 3 players of all time. Steph Curry is taking the number 1 slot in my opinion. But Derrick Rose always reminded me of a taller Iverson who was more focused on his game. AI was more focused on the life of the NBA, of being a superstar. Derrick Rose was focused on basketball, and he just got injured, man. I hated that. He was a beast.
Wait. I ain't gonna let you disrespect my boy Iverson like that. What are you saying? Wait,
I think Iverson. Go ahead.
Before you go, Tim Embiid once again averaged 27 and 10 boards against Horford. Yeah, he averages his season average is 33 points, and he's averaging 6 points less. And in the playoffs, he's going to average at least 2-3 points more. So he is not averaging what he's usually average. But not only that, look at the points when Horford is defending him versus when Horford's not defending him. It's a big, huge difference. Horford got Embiid's number. That's just facts.
I mean, they know how to play him. He not, for some reason, it was interesting when Paul Reed was playing against Horford. He was actually moving Horford more than I see Embiid.
Yeah.
And B is bigger than Paul Reed. So that was confusing to me. I was watching Paul Reed kind of move him around. I was kind of shocked, but it looked like every time B back up into Horford, it's like backing him into a brick wall. But they play great defense on B too, like team defense. They play good team defense on Joel Embiid. But he said he was a Celtic. He was a Bulls fan. He was a Celtics fan when I was younger. Okay, and everybody said he used to look like Rondo. So he's like, the Celtics. That's funny. Rondo, I like Rondo. But what I was saying about Iverson, my thing about Iverson, real quick, not to get too far off the beaten path here, but Iverson to me wasn't as dialed in about basketball as you see Kobe Bryant, even Derrick Rose, Steph Curry, LeBron James. Them dudes is about ball life. AI loved to play the game, but he loved the superstardom as well, and he didn't focus on the game as hard as he should have outside of the arena. He was a man in the arena. Once he got in the arena, he gave you 100%, but he wasn't the dude who's going to be early. He said it. I wasn't the dude who's going to be there an hour before practice. I just practiced. I just watched the clip, and I sent it to y'all of what's his name? Isaiah Thomas, the young Isaiah Thomas, not old Isaiah Thomas. And he was talking about when he played with LeBron. And he said how he said, if practice day 11, LeBron is there at 9. He's the first one there by far, and he's the last one to leave. He said he works on his body to a religious degree. Like it's unbelievable. You never seen this, but Bron is that for a reason. Kobe was that bull for a reason. Steph is that dude for a reason. He was a great player, but he wasn't overly infatuated with the process of being a great player.
And that's funny. The boy Maxey, he works out with LeBron, and they told a story the other day that on his podcast, I believe it was, he was saying that he was good to practice at 6:00 in the morning, and he beat LeBron. So LeBron got there at 5:30, and he was like, "I'm not gonna let you beat me." So he kept getting to practice at 5:30 in the morning because he knew Max was gonna get there at 6:00. So LeBron is a competitor like that. But as far as Iverson goes, no, Iverson wasn't in a gym like a gym rat. He wasn't. I'm not gonna sit there and lie and say he was. But ain't nobody play harder than Allen Iverson on that basketball court. Ain't nobody play as many minutes. You couldn't. Larry Brown would get cussed out every time Iverson would take once he took Iverson out the game. That's how much Iverson had passion and love for that game. It was a lot of boys who couldn't even compete on Iverson. They could practice all day long, spend 6-7 days in the gym, 24 hours, and still they couldn't match what Iverson gave you the court. Iverson had passion. He loved the game. I would have liked for him probably to take care of his body a little bit better than he did, because he partied like a rock star. He was a Philly. He partied. But I can't sit there and say anybody like look D Rose. I'm not gonna say he loved the game more than Iverson. I can't go with that.
He loved the process more. He did. Iverson shot for a career 42% field goal. Don't you think that could have been higher if he would have been a gym rat? Don't you think he could have got that up to 45? Maybe 46%?
God will make him do it. It's up to God. That's what he said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'm saying practice makes clearly the more you practice anything, you're going to get better with it. So
Derrick Rose career field goal percentage is 45%. I mean, this is what separates. Now, AI was an icon. I'm not saying he wasn't a great player, but this is what helps you win championships, and this is what helps you leave and I can't say leave an indelible mark on the game because AI did, but I firmly believe if AI was a little bit more of a gym rat, he could have won a championship. I think he could have won a championship.
Not with the talent they put around me.
I think it would either whether he was here with the Sixers or when he possibly went to Denver, he possibly could have won a championship. If he was a little bit more of a gym rat, I think it would have impacted his team more. If you take somebody field goal percentage from 42 to 46, let's say you take it to 46, you know how many more made baskets that is? Like that's a incredibly amount of more made baskets to help your team win. This is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But AI was that boy. I'm not hating on AI. I'm not at all.
You are hating on him. I want to talk about
it. Y'all know AI was my favorite basketball player. He's still top 2 or 3. Like I said, the reason why I bang with Curry, man, Curry has taken what you mean the hard work and just fine-tuning. He fine-tuned his offensive arsenal to a point where he can literally score from anywhere on the floor effectively. It's a beautiful offensive repertoire to watch. But Sixers, I'm glad. Listen, we rolling. No, I'm surprised that, by the way, real quick, because I know we like to go around the league sometimes because Sixers are doing their thing and I'm very impressed. The Timberwolves are 16-4. They rolling. What's your thoughts on the Timberwolves? You been following them a little bit?
Yeah, they're good. I thought they was gonna be good last year. So the fact that this year they're actually playing up to the standards, I'm all right. I don't know if they come out the West though.
Now they're the number one. They the number 1 seed team in the West.
I know
they had a Denver, but Denver been without Jamal for a minute. But Denver's 14-7. The Mavericks is 11-8. They went on a losing streak because they was coming out balling. Golden State ain't even a factor right now. They 9-11. The Clippers are what's the Clippers? 9-10. So, I mean, who's beating them right now? You got Sacramento, who's I forget what their record is, but they not. Let me see. What's the standings here? Here we go. Sacramento is right now it's Minnesota 1, OKC is 13-6, Denver 14-7, Lakers 13-9, Sacramento 11-8, Dallas 11-8, Phoenix 12-9.
Anthony Edwards, the next Jordan, X-Men.
Anthony Edwards is putting I'm not gonna go that far yet, but he's putting together a pretty impressive resume right now.
I like him. I just don't know, and I'm not even gonna judge him. I got to see more. I got to see because you could be a great talent, but are you smart? Are you a smart player? I don't know that yet.
Hey, X-Men, all I'm saying, go ahead. I'm gonna get back to the AI Curry thing, but go ahead. What you saying now?
No, I just need to see more from Anthony Edwards, but he's the truth. I have nothing, no hate on him whatsoever.
He is the truth. Hey, X-Men, you do realize Curry won 2 rings without KD, but that's neither here nor there. But Clay, he did have Clay. He did have Clay. Clay was a baller. But Clay, remember, Clay wasn't Clay when he won that second championship neither. It was a shell. Clay was a shell of himself. He had Wiggins, who played good defense, but offensively was suspect, especially in the finals. And he had Draymond, who probably had his worst finals performance ever, and he still was able to win that finals from Boston. You know why? Because his efficiency was crazy. He cooked the mess out of Boston. That's what I mean by fine-tuning your offensive repertoire. He had one bad game in that 6-game series, but he saved them game 4. He went off because remember, he's about to go down 3-1. He tied him up game 4. Game 5, he had that's the game he had a bad game they won, and then game 6 he dropped like 35 or something like that. Had a massive performance in game 6 and walked Boston off the court. But that's what happens when you fine-tune your offensive repertoire. But let's look at Anthony Edwards real fast. Right now, he's putting up some numbers. Your boy Anthony Edwards, Tim, this season, he's putting up 26 a game, right? And he's shooting 50% from, that's efficiency field goal percentage, 52%. That's pretty solid. He's shooting 46% field goal and 37% from the 3, averaging 26 points and giving you 5 assists and 6 rebounds. Putting together a pretty solid resume.
Let's see if they can keep it up. They got a nice solid roster though. I'm looking at their roster now. They got a nice little solid roster.
They do. They got a nice solid roster, and that's why they winning. Who's their 4th best player?
Yeah, I said who's that? Mike Conley.
What's he averaging?
10 points, 6 assists.
Oh, okay. So the 4th best player is averaging 10 points. Okay.
Well,
all right. And our 4th best player is averaging 18. Okay, that's cool.
All right. I'm gonna let you watch Tobias the rest of the year, and you're gonna see. It's all about the eyes. Like, can you do like he even like tonight? Conley had 18 points. He can give you 13 on any given night. Tobias ain't giving you no 30. Like ever.
Listen, real quick. I agree with you with that. He ain't giving you no 30. But let's talk about real fast. And I'm not trying to get too long with it because I'm hungry and I do gotta go to bed here. But this Jordan era thing, when people talk about the Jordan era and what Mike would have did, I think a lot of people forget that 90s era of basketball is a lot of one-on-one basketball. Jordan was physically, athletically more gifted than 97% of the players that he played against. But it's a lot easier to play one-on-one basketball. It wasn't no zone defenses. If you tried to come over and double, you had to completely double. You couldn't halfway double because then you got called for illegal defense.
Yeah.
So scoring, if you was a very good one-on-one player, you could put the ball in the bucket. And Jordan, great fadeaway, got the recipient of a lot of whistles because he was Jordan, especially when the league wanted to build around him. And this is not to hate on Jordan, but this is just honest basketball talk. I started watching ball since 88 when Detroit Pistons was in the finals against the LA Lakers. And that's when I started falling in love with ball, and I've been watching ball ever since. So I got some history about watching ball and the evolution of the game. Is the game as physical as it was back then? No, the NBA don't want it physical. You know why? Because physical don't sell tickets. That's one reason why the NBA allowed the Bulls to get past the Knicks when the Knicks was getting physical. I actually went back again and watched I think it was 1993. It was 93 or 94 playoff game 7 against the Bulls and the Knicks, and I could tell from the very outset of that game the Knicks was never going to win. The referees, the league was never going to allow Knicks to win because if you look at the stats, I'm going to take y'all back real fast. If you look at the NBA Finals viewership from the very last Pistons final, they were the lowest they were in years. And after that year, with the next year with the Lakers and the Bulls played, and the finals went up. And the finals dipped again when Jordan left and the Knicks and Houston was in the finals. I'm telling you right now, David Stern decided that you were never going to see another finals with that type of defense because it doesn't sell tickets. Offense
tickets. OJ was during that time. The whole OJ thing was going on with that Houston Knicks. I had a little bit to do with the low finals.
Okay. But it wasn't a coincidence that the Pistons finals, who was a great team as well, great team, great players, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Lambert, they also had a very low-rated finals, and that was against the Lakers, the Showtime Lakers. That type of game doesn't sell tickets. They ran the numbers, they did the statistics. It doesn't sell. They want offense, but they also want a flowing game. But you don't have to necessarily say we want a team to score 140, 150 points a game. They just don't want a physical beat them up bully ball type of basketball game. They want stars to be able to do their thing, whether you score a lot or not. I think that's subjective, but they want stars to be able to flourish in the offense in a free flowing way, I'll say. And they don't want that bully ball stuff. So, but Jordan in this era, I think people think, oh, Jordan, he'll average 35, 40 a game. I personally don't think so. I think Jordan put up some solid numbers. I don't think he would average 40 points a game. I don't think so.
He didn't average 40 points a game when he played. He would average about 30 points a game.
I think he would average 30. I think he would average around 30 points a game. Now, one thing he would probably have to learn, for one, the only way he would do that, he would have to learn how to shoot the three. He would have to learn how to shoot the three at a 35, 38% clip while shooting 7 to 8 threes a game. Jordan never shot that many threes. I think he shot around 35% from three, but he never shot that many threes. So he would have to learn how to shoot that many threes and shoot that high of a clip. He will also have to learn how to draw. Well, Jordan got his foul calls a lot. But he would have to kind of do the hard swipe technique and all that stuff.
I mean, you're not going to. If Harden can get 36 points a game and 35 points a game, Jordan would have been able to get it easily. So stop.
Harden was a very savvy offensive player who actually did moves that even Jordan. Harden, listen, as much as I hate on Harden, first of all, he know how to get fouls. He knows how to. He manipulated the art of drawing fouls.
But Jordan has the league. Jordan has the league. That's different.
That will help out. But Harden he manipulated the art of drawing fouls for one. For two, Harden at his best was very crafty. His footwork was great footwork for Harden as an offensive player. Tobias' last 30-point game was in 2020 against the Pacers. It ain't in him. He's had plenty of opportunities. I agree. Listen, I agree with y'all. Tobias, thank you, and Pumans. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for the love. Exactly.
Hey, D'Angelo Abdul-Star, what I'm getting at is, like I said, I just think Mike wouldn't dominate as much as people say that he would in this era. Is if you, and I'm not saying he had the ability to grow his game, but these players that we see nowadays over the years,
Charlie,
to expand their game. What you say? Giannis don't shoot 7 threes a game, but is Jordan 7 feet? Giannis is 7 feet tall, ain't he?
But Jordan is the lead.
So Giannis is 7 feet tall and can run like Jordan and probably not too far off of Jordan vertical. So he don't have to shoot threes. He don't have to shoot threes to average 30 because he's 7 feet tall. That's a whole different beast.
Jordan. All right, y'all. I'm out.
But Art was savvy on some of those bogus calls. He didn't get to the playoffs. Plus, he got in the playoffs. Plus, his best move is traveling. It's not Harden's best move. Actually, not traveling. We talked about the gather step. I actually watched a podcast with JJ Redick, and he was saying how the younger basketball coaches and leagues need to teach that gather step better because they call it travel. And in the NBA and FIBA rules, it's not a travel. So you got the Euro players coming up in their young leagues, and they're not being called for that gather step travel. They're teaching them how to do it and not being called for travel. But in our young AAU leagues and all that kind of stuff, they're actually calling that a travel on them. You already posted that already, I think. But you know that we got to learn the game better. On street ball, a lot of stuff that them NBA players doing street ball, we be calling walks, but it's really not because you got to incorporate that gather step. But
we'll be back Friday. We'll be playing Atlanta Hawks. And so we'll be back. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Again, thanks for all the support and love.
I'm still hurt.
Appreciate y'all.
I'm still hurt. You better beat Dallas. Deuces.